Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Tuesday live. How about that? Another. Hold on. I move so much. Let me see if I can get a better angle. I'm using a different stand. Today is like kind of blah and dreary. So I'm gonna kind of be, who knows? Hold on, let me just move it back a little bit. Maybe that'll be fine. That'll be fine. That will be fine. That'll be fine in the kitchen for us. I am using my ring light today. I usually only use it when I record, like a video, but I haven't been doing much recording, have I? So I figured I would just bring it. It is so cloudy and so dark that trying to open my tablet because we all know I can't see the comments on my phone. So instead of being frustrated, we just go with our plan B. And that's the way to go. It is. That way I don't miss anybody. So yeah, today is, oh, listen to me. It's a wonderful Tuesday. We have hit fall. Y'all, let me tell you, for a couple of years, fall didn't hit until it seemed like late November. And I was like, oh man, we're getting tropical effects, blah, 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 blah. But now, it's like it's going back to normal again. So good, it's good. The trees are changing right when they should. The weather has cooled off. And like everything in this region, the temperatures will always and forever fluctuate. But that's just part of the life we live, correct? To live in this area. So like always, I come live to you while I am doing 15 other things. For some reason, for me, I kind of helps it flow. Yeah, welcome on in. I hope everybody's having a great day today. And let me get everybody turned on. So how is your weather and what do you have planned? I think one of the big things I still do the night before is kind of sit down and figure out what are my goals for the day. So, like everything, I have a lot of ideas and hopefully we'll get them all done. We'll get this kitchen cleaned up. It's just breakfast dishes. Make a second cup of coffee and then I have a new carpet cleaner I need to try. I will get it and show it to you in a little bit. I'm going to stay focused and do this. And then the other big project of the day that we're going to go through, getting some watch hours and doing some lives on this channel or my other channel, Fabulous Nuts ASMR. I'll be painting. We're going to start the trim work. And I hung my second set of curtains. So let me show you. I really love this. Okay, I wasn't going to get distracted until I finished the dishes, but there you go. That's my life. How much fun are those curtains? I love it. And remember, this table is going to go into the dining room, but I love it. It's just the sari, the recycled saris. You can buy them on Amazon. I'll be sure to link. I'm working on my link. These things take me a long time because they didn't grow up. But I love the color it adds. And I came up with an idea last night. I'm so excited. Let me turn you guys one more time. We're going to look all the way over. I'm going to bring you with me into this room. And let me see. Make sure we don't fall down. Okay, I slept down here last night because of a sick dog, so excuse the mess. But this, I've always wanted a big big painting of something. And I had said when the kids were little, maybe I should do like, I wanted a picture of their little feet running across a really narrow canvas, but it didn't happen. And for that, I will for always be sorry. You know, when they were toddlers to have their feet prints, I thought that would have been so cute. And I really am disappointed that that didn't happen. But this, after sometime this upcoming spring when we're all together, I'm gonna take this picture down and I'm gonna stretch a piece of canvas almost the whole length and width of the ceiling. And we're gonna put, we're gonna play like slap your hands on a wall. We're gonna put our hands in paint and you get to pick your color paint and then you have to pull one and then we'll paint your hands, tie your eyes closed, spin you around, almost like pin the tail on the donkey, and you can just touch the canvas. So nobody will know what they're touching or what the design is going to turn out like, and it's going to intertwine all of us in the family, our hands. I love it. I might even take it, get this, I'm from a very large family, and we always do a family Olympics in the spring. I might even take it up there so that all the family members and kids, you know, can touch it. And then when it dries, we can sign our names on one of our prints, on one of our hand touches. And I just think if you can't see what you're doing and it's all free for all, and you let it dry in between people, I think it's going to be great. And then I can put every color of my paint palette, just bring the paint and you get to pick one and then you have to grab one out random. I think it's really going to match the curtains and then we'll have a great balance and I'll finally have a large piece of substantial art on this wall. So yeah, that's my idea. I am so stinking excited about that. I'm writing it down. I'm keeping it. That's what I know, what I'm finally doing. I never got the kids' feet running across paper or running across a piece of canvas, but I am going to make this, this next one. I'll go ahead and get the canvas stretched because I want a very large piece. I can make the frame, get it stretched, and then be ready when we are all together. I love that idea. I love that idea. I really do. So that was my brilliant thought of last night's laying down here, doctoring sick animals. You know, it used to be fun in the old days, right? Well, it wasn't fun in the old days, but you know, we used to keep our dogs outside and they had dog houses and they had kennels and runs and they were not inside animals. And now they have definitely become inside animals. And with that means when they're not feeling well, stuff sometimes happens in the house. So yeah, how do you like that idea? I am so thrilled. I cannot wait to give it a try. And I think it's really going to balance the color that I'm trying to bring in on the other side of the room and just brighten this all up and make it so much fun. Oh, excuse me, guys. I need to put my pillow away. Boy, it's cold and but it's cold and rainy today. All right, so that's my idea. Let me know what you think. I'll come back over to where I can actually see comments and we'll get back to this mess of the dishes. How about that? I think that'll be a great idea. There we go. Now you can see my dish pile that has to be dished, right? Now we'll do it just like that. Drop it down. Hey, let's create. Let's turn that on. Okay. So yeah, I was really, really, really excited to have that idea. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, Progressive, for being here. Let me see who else has popped. Oh man, my chat switched. And Patrick, thank you. So that's my idea. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm really slightly bummed that it did not happen when the kids were little, but we had so much else going on. I had a chronically ill child. And so truthfully, when my children were toddlers, a lot of the time was just keeping our heads above water and surviving their early years. But we did. And now we can have the fun and make up for it, you know? So there's things that got lost in translation, but there are things that we can still 100% do as a unit. And I do kind of like the idea of bringing in the entire family, because right now, like my nieces and nephews, they're all having babies. I'm from a very big family, and yeah, when we all get together, I definitely am going to get some people, and I think it'll definitely, I can do in black. Oh, listen to this idea. I could do just a black or brown outline of a tree and do the tree branches, and then this pin your hands on the tree. So people will spin them around and they can go, and then when they're finished, we'll be sure we write the name of whose hand it was. But I think if we're using everybody, it should be a tree. I think that symbolism would be very nice because it all branches out upon itself and from itself. And I want to do it right now. Like, I am so hyped on this idea. Oh, I love it. I love it. So I would definitely write it down, and I am definitely going to let everybody know when I give this a try. I just think it would be a wonderful addition. The other thing that while I'm redecorating, one other piece of art, I guess you could call it, that I'm going to use is, I have a child, one of my children is an opera singer, and last year she was in a performance, and she had these 1910 costumes, and they were gorgeous, but I have this perfect picture of her posing with her arms out, and thanks to Photoshop, I was able to cut her out and put her in all kinds of different settings, and I put her in like the Palace of Versailles, and her pose and her dress, and it just looks like a really old-fashioned portrait that you would see, you know, flipping through a history book or something. So I am going to I have the back, I have it all transposed now. So that is a piece I'm going to send over to any of the photo processing places. And you can pick your size, you can pick how you want it printed. So I'm even thinking I might put it on canvas, and then I'm going to put it in a gold frame to go with my other gold in the dining room. That project, so this week is the last of the paint that will go in this room. I'm going to finish the trim work. I have the two little green walls need to be repainted. Then this space will be finished. I know some of the decorations I'm bringing in, but I can't get bogged down in decorating right now because the goal of all of this is to get upstairs to create a suite for my son that is going to be living at home for a while. So that's the goal, is to get up there, and in order to get up there, I kind of had to shift things to work to that space, if that makes sense. But if I get stuck decorating, I'll never get the basics painted. And we have I don't think let me rephrase that. I am always up to move things around, to bring in different things, to redecorate for the seasons. And my core pieces stay the same, but I just find it fun to have new stuff around, especially now in my 20s and 30s. I moved all the time. Like I was always here for a year, there for a year, because I was traveling with my job, and then my husband's military, we were traveling. Well, we didn't travel that much. We went to Hawaii and then came to North Carolina. But, and then because he was settled, I settled. But I always enjoyed redoing my space, redoing my apartments, redoing a new place to live, redecorating. So that's why I really do seasonal decorations. This year, not because we're gonna do the painting. And my stencils have come in. I have said in other lives, I have to pull my carpets up, but because of financial obligations, hello, I'm so sorry, my chat's not moving there. Hi Daniel, hello, Samuel, welcome in. Let me see if I can get that. The Progressive Pessimist, welcome, welcome. And Carolina, welcome. Tambellini, hope I said it right. But what I'm doing, because I am not taking out loans, we're cash only kind of people, and we have other obligations, so I can't afford to refloor my house at this moment. No big deal, it will get done, but the carpet has to come out, So I did a floor, and I'll show you. I did this 2 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, before I had broken my hands. So let's turn back around. And you can see in here, let's kind of point down towards the floor. When I tore the carpet up, I just painted it a cream and then got the rugs to cover. I know when we get flooring that all matches and goes across the house, these carpets will spread out and the other ones will be used elsewhere. This little carpet that I'm standing on here is going to move because I'm bringing a big chair to put in this space. So that's what I'm doing. And we'll get to the flooring and we'll be able to pick it out. But at this point, it's not happening. You know, cars in college, educations get a lot. But in the main dining room, I'm gonna do the floor this black that I use right here for my doors. There I am. I'm using, I'm gonna do the floor black in there, in the dining room. And then let me show you my stencils. I cannot wait. And of course, putting these stencils down on that floor that's going to be black is the very, 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 very last thing that will happen in that room, but I already have it planned. So I have 2 stencils to go around the outside edge and kind of an inner edge as well. I'm going to kind of do a dead center spot. I have a rug, but I'm not sure right now that I want to bring it out. I have a senior dog that, anyway, yeah, very senior dog. So I'm going to use this stencil because I have the, and I don't know if you can really see it. Let's bring you guys closer. So when I do the floor, I'm going to do my peacocks all around the inner edge in gold. And then I'm going to alternate the pattern with this. So it's going to be this stencil here and then a gold peacock. And then this will be close to the wall and it'll go around that way. So in the meantime, I am going to study. I've never used stencils. I have never used stencils, but I'm going to study, but see how this is kind of very fragile right here. And I know it's going to be a long process, but I should be able to, especially with a black floor, just put some white chalk and mark my spots very easily. That's what I'm hoping for. However, like I say, it is the last part of the project. But I have it planned, and planning is, for me, planning is the fun of it. Let me see what we got. Okay, now I can see Samuel and Daniel Rodriguez has popped in the house as well. So those are the upgrades we're gonna do. But until then, let's get back to the kitchen so we can get everything done over here we need to do. And that these projects are, to tell you the truth, the reason why I decided to start this YouTube channel. I just retired in December. And so I figured while I'm doing all these projects and working through my Pinterest boards of things I really want in my house, why don't I do it on YouTube, right? So that was my thought. That's how this channel came to be. So we're doing the lives, 1, to get comfortable, 2, to get our watch hours so we can chase that, and 3, you want to know the number 3? I think I look less crazy if I'm talking to a camera as opposed to talking to myself. Just saying. Just saying. I'm not sure. One of my children isn't keeping a list on me. I don't know. They're funny kids. All right. Love them, hate them. I use the microwave. That's like a controversial issue in the family. Some people don't want anything that has come through the microwave. So when they're here, I'll just do kettle water, but whatever. It's all about the same, right? But I just happen to be standing here. So that is the plan. So, and that's the plan for today. Let me know if you have any exciting decorating tasks you're taking on. I'm really excited about my painting. Not only am I going to write the directions and get it all planned out how I'm doing it for over in that room, I'm going to keep it so I see it at all times to keep me motivated. And that will definitely keep me motivated to work and to get stuff rolling. I just love that idea. I think because of the paint involved, and especially if it's going to be little kids, it's definitely more of a summer project than a let's do it at Christmas time when everybody's Christmasing. So we shall do it then. And yeah, today is a rainy, gloomy day, so I said, let me put some Power Pink on. We'll come online and chit chat while I do this thing that we do. And I'll probably be back later. Definitely, if I'm painting and not talking, I need this out. I need this container out for my doggie. Yeah. And because everything starts rocking and rolling in my house about 3 a.m., I already have my dinner planned, so we shall do that. Tonight is, I have some beautiful ahi steaks. I'm gonna do some broccoli and maybe some rice. I don't know, but yeah, that's just some steamed broccoli, some ahi. That will be great. Oh my goodness. So my funny thing that happened on a Tuesday morning. Let me tell you the funny thing that happened on a Tuesday morning. I have high cholesterol. Not a little bit high. Nah. Not just an elevated cholesterol. I have hereditary high cholesterol, which means my cholesterol levels have always been elevated, but now that I'm almost 60, they are pushing towards the sky. I mean, I run a 300 to 400 cholesterol level, bad cholesterol in that range. But like I said, it's hereditary. It doesn't matter. So I'm trying to find a medication that will bring it down without, there is a shot you can use, but it's very expensive. So we're trying some other things. Some have worked, some haven't touched it. My cholesterol just laughs. You know, whatever. Well, I thought I was taking my cholesterol meds because I have a little bottle and I take that and it's in a little, let me show you. It's in just your standard medicine bottle, right? And I keep it right beside the one other med I take. So I was grabbing the bottle and taking it this week. It was the wrong medicine. When I broke my hands, I was giving a pain reliever thing to take all the time. And I don't use NADS. That's the non-steroid, whatever, because it tears up my gut. Bad, it tears me up. And I thought I had eaten some jalapenos this week, and I cook and add a lot of spices. If it doesn't make your eyes water, we probably don't need to eat it, right? Well, maybe not quite that bad. Wow, all of a sudden I'm thinking, I can't believe it. I can't eat jalapenos anymore. I have to take antacids and I'm just uncomfortable. And I ate the beans and rice last night and it's just seasoned, but it did have crushed red pepper and some, cayenne and, chili pepper, no chili pepper, but crushed red and cayenne. And all of a sudden I'm feeling it here and it's so uncomfortable. I can't even describe it, right? But I'll continue to try. So I'm having those thoughts and it's like, ugh. And I think, oh man, I just can't eat spices. I was taking it, the medicine that I'd stopped taking for my hands and never thrown away. And I'd stopped taking it because it tore up and I have to go back in 2 weeks and get my cholesterol checked. And I've probably been using this medication, this wrong medicine, for about 2 weeks. My hands haven't hurt. They felt pretty good still. I mean, a little tight. But I could not believe I did that. I felt so silly. I really did. But anyway, I'm back on my cholesterol medicine after I tore the counter apart to find it. And there we go. So does anybody else use the collagen peptides, the protein powders? My sister turned me on to them, and I am telling you, I've noticed, and whether it's a good one or a bad one, I take this one, and then at night I have one I use in a pill. But I think I can see some results coming in my baby hairs, coming back a little bit. So whether it's that or a different vitamin, because I'm like a vitamin queen, who knows? Who knows? But that's what I'm using. I might need more coffee later today. You know what would probably make me healthier? Just stop using artificial sweetener. But here we are. Let's put our 2 in, right? So that's what I thought of last night while I was dog sitting overnight, because the dogs weren't in the kennel. And that's where we're going. As soon as we get the coffee mixed, I'll set up and we can unpack my new carpet cleaner. I didn't go with the big one because, like I said, the carpet is coming out of the house. So I went and got just the little spot cleaner. And hopefully that will be enough. And it's also one that you can use without batteries, which is good. I mean, it runs on batteries. You don't need the plug. So that's good for being able to take it and use it in the car. And this was one, I'll do a link for it. I'll do a thing on my other channel because I can tag it over there. I could probably, yeah, because it's over there my channel's monetized. Now this channel I can tag, and anybody who has a channel or is starting a channel, you can, like if you're an Amazon partner, you can add your exterior links in your channel description. So once I get my Amazon thing all set up on how to tag stuff right, I gotta study. I can put that here. But my merch, you can start doing that. I have a TeePublic, so I have my merch. You just don't see the shopping symbol until you're monetized, but I know it's there. I'll post some Just Fabulous shirts, and I have one that says Just Fabulous Me. I just got to put them up on the website with my Fabulous Nuts ASMR, and then that can be in here. So that is something you can do if you're an up-and-coming channel or looking for another little side hustle. Also, if you have an Etsy shop, or if you have a Shopify shop. I have never explored that, but anyway, if you have those shops and a YouTube channel, you can link it in your description, just like you can link if you do Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, whatever, I don't know all the things. You can link all of those tabs so people can find you and to get your crossovers happening. If you are determined in retirement to become a social media influencer. That sounds fun. But anyway, look at my pose. Look at my pose. That's funny. That's one thing about, I don't know, I think growing up with a lot of people, you can be really still sometimes. One of my sister, Nikki's Happy Lifestyle, she has a channel as well. And my daughter, she thinks my sister's channel is hilarious because she does shorts. And she's gorgeous, you know. I mean, what can you, it's not her fault that she's beautiful. She just is. And she's a nice person too, which is like great. But she, on her shorts, she does faces. And then we talk a little bit. But my daughter thinks it's hilarious. She's like, oh, she just gets on there and poses and mugs. I'm like, yeah, baby, but it works for her. I love it. It's interesting how you can be family members and have such different approaches to stuff. Like, she and I will get together and we'll talk, and she seems real extroverted, but then she's extroverted, kind of like my daughter. She's extroverted with those that she's close with, but those that she's not extroverted. It's funny. So another interesting update about life, because I know you guys are so invested in my life. That was sarcasm, pure sarcasm. I'm hardly invested. My mom got her first cell phone. Now, I got my first cell phone in 2023. So all of this stuff that I'm doing on a phone, brand new, which is why I started my other page last it's been a year now, to learn how to do this YouTube thing, to figure it out. Some people I followed were like, oh, create content. So I was like, yeah, why not? You know, I'm going to do these projects. We'll really kind of focus and get content created. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. But in the meantime, I didn't even know how to do anything. So it was good. I have learned a lot. Well, my 80 plus year old mom just got a cell phone. Now, she had the old flip phone, and she had that for years and years and wouldn't give it up because it was what she's comfortable with. I understand that. I 100%, 1,000,000,000% understand not changing because you're comfortable, right? So she wouldn't change, but she finally broke. My sister finally said, Mom, this is enough. We're not doing this. It takes you 3 hours to send a text because you have to find her alphabet was on the old keypads. So she would have to, spell every word out that way through the numbers. Yeah. And then her fingers, you know how it is. And So we got her a phone. Well, now she's in these group chats. We put her in group chats with us, which is fine, right? I didn't know the rules of cell phone. Like, I didn't know that you couldn't just call somebody. You had to text them and tell them you were calling. So then they'll answer. Really, when did this become a thing? I grew up, if a telephone rings, you answer it. And if you're out somewhere, you don't talk. It's foreign to me having conversations in public on a telephone, walking with a phone, all of that, and it's so commonplace, but for me it really feels foreign. So I understand my mom needing some help learning the rules. Oh Lord, she needs some help learning the rules. That is for sure. She's in these group chats and she has conversation with one person. So all of a sudden, instead of her going to their phone number to send them a text message, she's already has this chat established, so she knows they're there. These messages the phone will be blowing up all day long because she's in a group chat having individual conversations with each of her children or her grandchildren who are in these oh my goodness. Wow. Yesterday, there was a chat that's just the girls, they're just my sisters. In that chat, I was telling her about the dog she asked how my dog was, and I said, the old lady is not doing well, her stomach's upset again. So she starts talking about how the end of life is, what's going to happen to the dog if this is shown up, why I need to address this issue. And I'm like, Mom, slow down. But she's in a chat that also has my daughter, who is 5 hours from here, who's reading all of this stuff, thinking I haven't relayed information because I've talked to my mother. Oh my gosh. And then I finally had to take it to another and say, Mom, you have to stop, You can't have people panicking, hey, what's happening with animals, when the dog's, it's not. I understand the last animal in your property, but my dog is not in that bad of shape. Calm down. We're not doing Hallelujah Choir right now. Relax. Then I had to, I spent half the day yesterday unraveling my mom's texting and calming. I felt like I was running around putting out fires. So I'm going to have a conversation. If you want to talk to somebody, take it to their phone number. Which is, I don't know, who knows? I mean, and truthfully, at 80-some years old, she just might not care. I said what I said, where I said what I said. And I think that's the energy I'm going to have. I said what I said, and I said it where I said it. So that just might be true blue energy. What do you think? I'm going to get my dog's rice going. I have her chicken already ready to shred. And then we can unbox the floor cleaner, the carpet shampooer. Like I said, I just got the little one that's for the spot cleaning. And it's like, it was more expensive than I wanted to pay, but I needed something a little bit more than me. I needed a little bit more. So I got something. But now I'm kind of questioning, should I have gotten the bigger ones? They weren't that much. What's $40 more at a certain point? But honestly, at this point, $40 more is $40 more. So I did not buy the one I had my eye on. So good for me. Yay, I get a star. I get a star for that. I did not upgrade. I stayed with the plan. Of course, I bought some candles on the way out of the store, but that's another story. Hey, how are you? We are are doing our thing, I'm gonna unbox. I'm gonna turn you around. We can go into the living room and unbox a floor cleaner. I am doing okay. Excuse me. Today is cold. Today is rainy. Today is just kind of a blah day. So we're doing this live. We are chit-chatting away. Then I'm going to clean the floor. I'm going to make a video of the sound for the other channel while I clean said floor. Then I have a little video I'm making for my mat. Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on, spin this way. Hello, let me show you my new curtains. How about those curtains? Can you see them in all their glory? I love my new curtains. Aren't they fun? Oh, thank you. Aren't these fun curtains? And listen, they have bells. I love them. I do. So we have a theme. I'm getting my bright colors. Look at that. And I didn't order them at the same time. So I didn't get the same top panel. But then I said, well, it's okay. This definitely feels a little bit brighter to me, this panel, because of the pink as opposed to this panel. But that's okay because that panel goes into a darker room. So I know, right? It's just, I had this white back here. I had this white curtain because I had them on my front porch. Only problem is, look, it's too short. So I was thinking about, I need to order a longer curtain. But I wanted color. I'm doing color now. So that doesn't bother me because they're long enough to hang down. And I have a mirrored effect. I have a mirrored like film on my on my windows, so you can't see from the outside looking in during the day. I think at night you can, but not really because of that film. And I'm definitely going to redo some of that. I love that film. And look. Hold on. Come quick. Look. My light switches we ordered that day on Amazon showed up. Where is the doggone light switch? See? Look at how it looks so good with the color. It's there. And then in the kitchen, come on, I'll let you see the whole mess we have over here. But isn't that nice? Look, it just adds that's the dog's medicine, but it just adds a little pop of color through the room. I love it. And those light switches, you can even do that if you have the time and you feel like spending it. But they're not expensive at all to do. That doesn't go there. People leaving stuff out, like the moms will come pick it up. So yeah, that's definitely been exciting to get that up. And then I have that one plate I'm gonna hang here. Then I have the one silver piece I'm gonna hang over my stove, and that's it for decorations in here. I think, it's teeny, look, you can reach, hold on. The space that is for kitchen cooking, you can't have two people. Here's my stove and here is the other. I'm not even reaching my arms out. It's shorter than me, see that? Yeah, like only 4 feet. It's very short. Did you like that decoration? But it works, it works. This whole kitchen size had to do with what we could afford to buy, truthfully, that's what we could afford to buy, so that's what we got, right? And that's just how you do life. Yeah. So, but today was I'm just gonna keep filming right here while I drink my coffee in front of my fancy curtains. I'd be like my sister. She's always posing. See, I got my paint earrings on to give me energy to paint. Oh, yes, we shall sit right here and enjoy while we have coffee. There we go. Shall I light some candles for you? Sure. Actually, I'm going to save them for after I do the floor in case I need some smell to be covered. So when are you going? You're live all the time, right? I am definitely going to start working it because I have got to start reaching thresholds. I have got to. As soon as they finish this live, I am going live on my Just Fab channel. No, I'm on Just Fab. I'm going live on Fabulous Nuts. We're going to get that. And let me see on my computer. We'll get that taken care of probably while I paint today. So we'll work on that. I'll probably jump between the two, so I might just have short pop-up lives today. But while I'm getting the painting done, that's a great time just to run. I think just to run a live. Even if I'm not able to interact, it's okay. People can watch me paint and scrub, right? Oh, thank you. Some, you're so gorgeous. You are. And gorgeous and kind. The double whammy right there. And can cook. Whoop, there you go, trifecta. You get a crown. For my daughter, starting in high school on big milestones, I would buy her a crown for a crowning achievement, right? So everybody needs a crown collection because you never know when you need to. I know, right? My little cup of coffee. Actually, I've got to drop some weight. And I need to drop some weight pretty quickly to turn some stuff around. But so I'm kind of trying to fill up my tummy. And I use the almond milk because I can't use dairy cow milk. It's just vile to me. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, I'm usually not up here drinking coffee, especially this late, but plus I was up late last night and then I couldn't sleep very well because all of these ideas started flooding my head. And once the creative mode catches up, let me see my glass as well. Once creative mode catches in, then all I can think of is what I'm thinking of, you know? So that is definitely not a good one. But yeah, this does make, I'm admiring my curtains on my tablet. That's like that. So that's how I'm buying things. I had originally only bought one curtain thinking I was going to divide it and only have the color at the sides. But when I saw it up, I knew. And here's the thing. So I bought the one panel, right? And it took about a week to get here. When I bought the second panel, they must have known I was coming back for a second panel. It came within 48 hours. They're like, here you go. We had this ready for your last order. We don't know why you didn't just take them both in. But I really thought it might be too much color. But now that I am bringing a lots of colors, and up above my cabinets, I have big pieces of colored glass that I can pull down and put on my little tea stand, coffee stand, whatever you want to call it. And I'm really excited about getting those pieces down and seen again because I really, really love glass. It's like my thing. Which is so funny because my son is petrified. He's like, Mom, please don't make me carry that. I'm afraid I'm going to drop it. I'm afraid. Like all my antique cups and antique plates. He's like, Mom, I can't touch it. I'll drop it. It'll break. I'm like, yeah. Well, if it breaks, I'll be sad, but we live life, right? Nobody will know. In 10 years, 15 years, nobody will know or remember except for me. That one plate you broke. Actually, speaking of broken glass, I think his fear of breaking stuff. Let me take a big swig. when my grandmother passed, my great grandmother, she had some figurines, gorgeous figurines. She did. And I got them. And this beautiful figurine had two baby angels that went with it. Mm-hmm. And I had it proudly displayed, you know, in my home, right on over my fireplace in the room where the kids shouldn't have been playing, because at that point that had that whole other room to play. And my son was throwing something, and I said, "Don't throw that. You're going to hit the figurines from your grandmother." Now, he was 5. I think he was 5 years old, and he's 20 now, so 15 years ago, right? So anyway, he did throw something, and he did break the figurine, the little angel that went with, or goes with, a statue of Mother Mary, right? So I put it in a box for him, and I told him, if you ever get married, that's all you're getting from me. This broken angel. I was so mad. I'm like, that's your inheritance. That's all you're ever getting. This is what you're going to take to life. I might not have been the nicest parent. I mean, I do, and it's still in a box, all wrapped up in tissue paper with his name on it. This angel that was broken too many pieces to put back together. And I told him, that's it. That will be the gift. Your last gift you ever received from me. The angel that you broke of your great grandmother's. It was for us. Oh my God. My kids are in counseling. They have really good counselors. But you say those things and then you think back going, wow. I mean, instead of telling him not to throw the ball in the house, perhaps I, as a parent, should have walked over and taken the ball away, or whatever they were throwing, or taken them to a different room, or here's another thing I could have done as an adult, moved the angel. But no. In a tried and true parenting of the ages, I told them to stop messing around. They didn't listen. It got broken, and I had to lay the guilt trip down. Yeah. But he is getting that angel at some point. But yeah, that's kind of now that I think about it 15 years later, that was really messed up. Like, I had so many other options. But you don't think about that stuff. I'm sure. I know it was later in the day. I was exhausted. My kids, like, you know, when some kids would get tired, they lay back, they kick back. No. Mine act like they're on speed. They get speedy. They get what jumping means in their pants. They just everywhere. And yeah, that's the story of why the broken angel is in the closet to give to my son, and his name is on it. So with that being said, he is now afraid to touch my stuff. And I really love collecting. And I can't wait to share when I am like redecorating, share some of my collections. What I'm gonna do is, I don't have enough space, and my house isn't very formal anymore to really display, I don't have just to display collections, and I don't like them out because then they get dusty. So what I'm gonna do, another brilliant idea, I am going to take my china cups that I have found these things at yard sales or at antique stores or thrift stores for pennies, and some really nice pieces. And I'm gonna put them in boxes, so every month I can pull out something new. Then I can use them and enjoy them. I can see what I have and rotate it all the time, because right now they're in my attic. So I should get rid of them if they're not doing me any good. And I really want to be able to see, I don't know, I like to just look at certain things. It really brings me
brings me joy, you know, and that's kind of where I am in my life, just like these curtains. These colors, it's such a dreary, dreary day, but I have curtains that have a lot of color, and not only that, they have bells. What is better than curtains with bells? Let's listen, shall we? Yes, we shall. See? How fun are curtains with bells? I think they're great. So that's how I am. That's how I'm deciding at this age what to keep, what to get rid of, what to downsize with, what to not worry about. Oh, and here's another good thing that happened on Sunday. I get so excited about like little things, huh? I had a garden miracle. I had a garden miracle happen. Yes, I did. I did. My dead garden out there that I did not do well growing at all. I had thrown the top of a pineapple into a compost that's open, a big compost bin, and I had thrown a dead aloe plant that had turned yellow and mushy. I threw it in there. That pineapple has rooted. It's strong and healthy. It has gotten this tall. Now I know it takes 7 years to produce a fruit, but I have this gorgeous pineapple. I gotta repot it because it'll freeze. You know, it won't be good for the winter, but I have a pineapple. And my aloe plant is no longer not with me. It has grown back. It has shot off to the side and made some little baby aloes. How amazing is that? I just left it alone. And I think that might be the secret to my gardening. Put them out there and leave it alone. Go back and just gather your surprises and have fun with it. Right? I think so. Oh. I'm checking what you're saying. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. Do you hear the rice cooking? Yep, that's what's going on. So I'm not going to do the unboxing here because I want to do a whole video for my ASMR channel because I think a carpet cleaner is going to make good noise. But I'll show you my carpet cleaner. And that's the goal today. I have to paint everything white. I've got a lot to paint white actually. And then I have to, all this trim. Then next week we'll be up at Mama's house, out in the country. We can do some walking in the woods and go down to the stream. And hopefully her area is very odd. She's in a dead zone for picking up cell service. Like, you can't pick up cell service. It's a dead zone. So, it's very hard once you get out of Wi-Fi range. She finally got Wi-Fi this year to go with her. Or, internet to go with her cell phone. It's a whole nother thing. So, it's hard to do live videos there because I don't know if it's how around her area there's power lines, kind of like, and I know she's like in a weird valley. It's just a weird dead zone. So it's very hard to go live there, but I can do it off her back porch. I'll come live, and I'm gonna definitely try to get my mom to crack some nuts with me. Plus, she is so sarcastic. I'm telling you. I mean, she is sarcastic. So I have a video of her, a short, when I had first started YouTube, and I mean the videos were horrendous because my phone didn't have a balance on it. And this is the ASMR channel. Those videos, they're still up because you've got to keep your classics up, right? So when I started that channel, I was doing like ASMR sounds and like nature and stuff like that. But if I moved or was holding the phone, there was no balance on it. So everything is wobbly. It looks like I was continuously in an earthquake, like for real. Or, yeah, or like it was not good. I mean, everything was just shaking. But my mom was like, what is this? And she cannot, like, she doesn't have a filter. Like, it's bad. She does not have a filter. And she's like, oh my God, what is this? And she's laughing so hard. I think she wet her pants, like laughing about how horrible the video. She's like, you're never going to do anything. So I was kind of funny when I finally got my act together, finally went to the nuts over there. I think that drove me nutty and got me prepared to be here doing this with you guys. So she always has an opinion that is hilarious. And I can't wait. You wait. Okay, I'm 58 now. And I figure for every 2 years, you can pull back a little bit. No, maybe every 5. So when I hit 60, I can give, it can start just like being a little more sarcastic. And then by 65, because then it's still kind of hard to tell unless my hair goes really gray. My hair goes solid gray faster. We are going there. I mean, I'm going to lose my filter. I cannot wait. So yeah, the older you get, I think there's just more leeway on you stop letting life inhibit you on what you're going to say. And I think if you don't know how my mom is, like, you would think she's being rude and being mean because it comes across that way. But they're really thoughts that she has, and she really like holds herself to the same standard. So I think that's when you are grown up with a perfectionist, and she was a perfectionist, not only for us, but for herself. And that's a whole tricky situation. It's taken a lot of years to be able to say it's okay. Everything you touch, everything you do, you can't achieve perfection, and it is okay. But there are messages, and when you grow up with a perfectionist, you're never good enough. Nothing you do is ever good enough. There is never that moment of good job. Period. That was wonderful. Congratulations. It is good job, but that was good. However, there's always that second side to it, which makes it, do you hear that? Tapping, that's my dog. Let me go see what she's doing. It makes it hard to learn how to accept a genuine compliment because you're always waiting to then be slapped. Oh, you look pretty. But if you would cut your hair, you would be gorgeous. My mother hates my hair until I think about 3 years ago, I finally lost it, which is bad. I should have had better coping skills to speak what I needed. But growing up with somebody that you couldn't, and I do have better skills with my own kids. But yeah, that definitely, that fight for perfection is crazy. So it makes what she says, now I can see it as her own internal battle. But Lord, I mean, it was horrible. And yeah, those are the things though that I think as you age, or as you become your own person, as you become this, those are the things that are so hurtful that you say, I'm going to be sure I never do this to my kids. And we all do it to some point, but then you have to catch yourself. Like, it's so ironic. She will sit and say things about how her mother was so critical of her. And all of the children will just like look around at each other going like, and you are too. But, we don't say that. And it's different time, different place, different skills that were learned, different things that are worked on. Or hold on, let me see what she's doing. She is having a problem. I'll be right back. Enjoy my curtains. Summer, stop. 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 There's too much. It's too much. Come on. Go outside. You want to go outside? Well, then stop. All right. The answer to going outside is no. She hates the rain, so she probably will try not to go outside again. So yeah, living with a perfectionist, or even trying to live to expectations of perfection, is mind-blowingly damaging. It is the most. But yeah, that's where we are. So I have been here for an hour, and I know I'm gonna come back later. Thank you, my darling. I am heading to your house. I am gonna say goodbye for now. I'm gonna thank everybody for being here. I am going to get to work. I'm gonna go on the other page because I gotta meet my threshold over there. Done it once, but I need it to start. I am really working hard again. I didn't realize, when the monetization came. I think anyway. You work so hard to get monetized, and you're like, I did it. And then you kind of back off, or I worked so hard to get monetized. Then when I finally did it, by the grace of the nut, I said, thank you. And then it was like, let me pick up all the things that I put to the side because I was so focused on that, as opposed to trying to integrate it all together. And that's what I'm doing on this channel. That's why this is an organic growth channel. If you want to hear what's happening here, great, come in. If I want to return and see what's happening on yours, I will. My other one is a little bit more connecting channel. And that's just how it is, how it's going to be. So we'll see how this journey goes this way, without, I don't know, how this goes this way organically. Because over there I fell into that sub for sub trap. And it's unrealistic. I was on a girl's live today. I hear this is so funny, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and she's popped up in my feed twice. So when people pop up and say they're live, especially on the other channel, I definitely like to go in and support if I'm there. And I stick and stay, 20, 30 minutes, great. So I was in the live, and then she said, oh, are we connected? And I'm like, I've been connected to you for a year, but, maybe you knew me under this name because I knew I'd been in her live before. Maybe before you took a break doing lives, but then with so many subscriptions, people fall out of your algorithm, and then all of a sudden they'll pop back in, or if you don't go looking for them, they'll fall down. And then when you go looking for them, sometimes you can't even find them in your feed, which is frustrating. I was looking for Vincent when, the guy he's from Kenya, Vincent, or I can't pronounce his last name anyway. I knew because he's the car guy, and I just bought a car, and I wanted. I couldn't find him for anything. I looked and looked and looked, but I finally found him again. But yeah, anyway, that's what's happening. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed my curtains. I sure am. I'm gonna talk about them to everybody. I'm taking pictures and gonna take them home and show my mama, and she's gonna say, "Oh Lord, that looks just like something you would do." So she swears I have a tacky gene. And she's right. I do like things that are tacky. I have a whole room full of nothing but tacky because it makes me laugh. But I don't think that's tacky. I think it's delightfully whimsical and belly and colorful. And that's what I go for. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Be fabulous. I will see you later. If not today, find me over there because I'm being live. Being over there on Fabulous Nuts ASMR. I'll try to add a link in the description. I'm gonna take a picture of the curtains. Since we spent the end of this, that's gonna be my thumbnail, my curtains. Love you guys. Until next time, have a fabulous day. See you, Sum Sum. See you, Patrick.